Linear programming, variables, objectives, constraints. Today we are going to use our understanding of linear inequalities to create a model, come up with sort of bounded region, and then use some sort of objective function in order to maximize or minimize one of the solutions inside that bounded region. So here I have linear programming defined, and it has three features: variables, objectives, and constraints. And we'll start off with a simple example here of a region that has already been bounded. So we've already done the graphing of the linear inequalities. And we want to find our corner points here in the polygon and plug that into some sort of optimization function, z, in order to figure out what the maximum and minimum values are. So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a pentagon here. So I have 5 corner points, the vertices of that pentagon. And I'm going to substitute those values x and y into this linear function z. And what we want to do is we want to see what the value of that function is and determine, well, which value returns us the largest value, the maximum, which one gives us the smallest or the minimum. And so we see these first few points here that so far 3, 6 returns us a value of 24, but 9, 4 is going to give us, so a little bit larger, it's going to be 30. And 6, 0 is going to return us 12. And so the maximum is going to be 30, that's going to be at 9, 4, and the minimum is at 0, 0. So let's take a look at our first complete example here. We have a craftsman that produces 2 types of tables, coffee tables and end tables. And he doesn't want to work any more than 40 hours a week, and he only has $1,000 a week for his materials. So here's a table. You could see it takes 6 hours of labor for coffee and 5 for end, and what the cost of the materials are for each one and what the profit is. So I have organized several steps here to solve this problem. So what we want to do now is list the independent variables. What is it that we are looking to find? So let's let x equal the number of coffee tables, y equal the number of end tables that the craftsman needs to make. And now step 2, what are the constraints? Okay, so the craftsman doesn't want to work more than 40 hours. And he doesn't have more than $1,000 a week for his costs, his expenses. Okay, so that means, if it takes 6 hours to make one coffee table, well, 6 times x and then 5 times y has to be less than or equal to 40. As far as the costs go, we know that 200 times x would be the total cost for coffee tables, and 100 times y would be total cost for end tables. It has to be less than or equal to 1,000. So lastly, what is our objective is to maximize some sort of profit. And profit's going to be based on coffee table profit plus end table profit. So we're going to make $240 times x plus $160 times y for our profit. We also know that he is going to make at greater than or equal to 0 of each, right? He's not going to have a negative coffee table or end table. So we're going to add those 2 inequalities. So we know that we're going to be working in quadrant 1, basically. So let's graph these 2 linear inequalities here, and you guys know how to do this. We're going to put our equation in y equals mx plus b form, and then determine the y-intercept and the slope which this first one have here. We have 8 and negative 6 over 5. So we go up 8 on the y-axis and then plot our slope. And then our second equation, same. We're going to solve for y and then determine our y-intercept and our slope. And we get a y-intercept of 10 and a slope of negative 2 over 1. I'm going to plot that. We need to determine our shading. So we can plot in, put in a test point. 0, 0 should work for both. And we'll see that 0, 0 does work for both linear inequalities. So we're going to be shading in this bounded region between the x and y axis and these lines. Our lines are solid because the inequality is less than or equal to. And let's fix the shading here. There we go. So now we're interested in our corners because we want to maximize our profit in this case. So we're going to use the corner principle, which basically says the maximum and minimum for our optimization function, our z function, is going to be found at the corners of our polygon. So anywhere inside of that bounded region, that shaded region, could be a solution to the system. Okay, so you can find any combination of tables that you want, coffee tables and end tables. However, you're not going to find a maximum value by just going anywhere in the center. You actually have to find the corners, identify them, and then substitute those corners into the solution. It's going to save you a lot more time, right? Instead of just plugging every single value in that you could get, just substitute the values at the corners. And then you just check to see which one is maximized in this case. So we've got 0, 8, we've got 5, 0. Clearly we can see those on the axis. And we have another point here that, well, we could kind of guess at what it is, but we're not definitively sure, maybe. So what could we do to actually find where the intersection of those two lines are? So those are two lines that we had identified before. One is the hours constraint, the 6x plus 5y equals 40 is less than or equal to 40. And the other one was our cost constraint, the 200x plus 100y is less than or equal to 100. So I'm going to grab these two equations that we've already solved for y, and let's grab them and stick them down here. And I'm going to get rid of these inequalities and just set them equal because I want to see where the intersection is. And, since they're both solved for y, why don't we just use substitution and eliminate the y variable here, and we could solve for x. And then once we know our x value, we can substitute it back into one of the two equations and get our y value, and then that will really give us a clear understanding of where the intersection is. So I get 2.5 or 2.5, or even 5 over 2 if I want to write it as an improper fraction. Let's pop that back in to one of the original, or one of our previous equations, and I think I like this right one better. It's a little more simple. And we get 5 for y. So 2.5 and 5 is our other corner point. That looks right. And let's just write it 2.5 and 5. Okay, so now we have our corners, and we need to go back and find our profit equation. This is our optimization function here, z equals 240x, 160y. And we're going to substitute our values for x and y from the ordered pair into this function. So So let's rewrite it here. And now let's check our corner point of 0, 8. So that means we're going to have 0 coffee tables and 8 end tables. And that will return us a profit of $1,280. All right, can we do better than that? Let's try 2.5 and 5. So we're going to put those points into our function. And this one's going to be better. We're going to get 1,400, I think is the answer. Let's see what we get here. Okay, $1,400. And then we have 5 and 0 we're going to put in. So that means we do all coffee tables and no end tables. And this is going to return us 1,200. Of course, if we don't make anything, we're going to get 0. So 0, 0 is definitely the maximum, or the minimum. And our maximum is 1,400. So we want to, let's see, where am I going to write this? We want the craftsman to make 2.5 coffee tables and 5 end tables to maximize his profits. And we're okay with this half coffee table. It's not like he's only producing half one and that's it. He would just finish the other half on the second week. So that works for that solution. Okay, well there it is. That's the full example. We'll take a look at another one next class. Hope that makes sense. See you all soon.